If you're in your mid-30s right now and you feel like you missed the boat on investing, take a breath. You didn't miss it. You're not behind in the way you think you are. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Most people don't start investing seriously at 25. They start at 35, sometimes 40, often with some debt still hanging around and $0 in a retirement account. And the internet loves to guilt you about that. You should have started at 22. Compound interest waits for no one. Cool. Thanks. Very helpful. But panic is not a strategy. What actually works is a clear, boring, unglamorous plan that gets your money working in the right order. That's what this video is. Not a lecture about the mistakes of your 20s, a fix, a real one with numbers that you can start this month. Let's walk through exactly what happened, why it happened, and the fastest, least painful way out. Let's paint the picture, because chances are some part of this is your story. You're 25. You just started your first real job, or maybe your second. Rent is expensive. Your paycheck disappears in about 4 days. Somewhere in there, you've got student loan debt, maybe a credit card balance that crept up during a rough patch, maybe a car loan. Retirement accounts feel like a problem for future you, because current you is just trying to keep the lights on. So 10 years pass. You're 35 now. You check your retirement account, if you even have one, and the balance is small. Painfully small. Meanwhile, you've got a headline in your brain that says something like, if you'd started at 25 with $200 a month, you'd have this much more by 65. And that number stings because it's true. Time in the market is powerful, and every year you wait, you lose some of that power. Here's the part that matters most, though. The gap between 25 and 35 is not the biggest gap you'll ever face. The biggest gap is the one between starting now and never starting. 10 years of lost growth is real, but it's recoverable. 10 more years of doing nothing is not. So let's be specific about the starting line most people are actually standing on at 35. It usually looks like this: some high-interest debt, maybe $5,000, maybe $15,000, sitting on credit cards or personal loans. No employer retirement match being used, even if it's available. No real understanding of what a low-fee index fund even is. And a general feeling of I'll figure it out eventually, which is doing a lot of heavy lifting. If that's you, here's the good news. You're not the exception. You are, statistically, the rule. Most people don't get a financial literacy class in high school. Most people's 20s get eaten by rent, student loans, and just learning how to adult. So, we're not here to shame the past. We're here to fix the next 60 months. Here's the single biggest reason people stay stuck in their 30s. They do things in the wrong order. They try to invest aggressively while carrying high-interest debt. Or they pay off every debt to zero before ever touching an investment account, even one with free money attached to it. Both of those are mistakes. There's a correct order, and once you know it, everything gets simpler. Step 1. Attack the high-interest debt. First, but not blindly. If you've got credit card debt sitting at 20, 25, even 30% interest, that debt is the most urgent problem in your entire financial life. No investment reliably returns 25% a year, so paying that off is mathematically the best investment available to you. List every debt you have with its interest rate. Anything above roughly 7 or 8% goes in the attack now pile. Anything below that, some student loans, some auto loans, can often sit in the background while you do other things in parallel, because the math doesn't punish you as hard for going slower there. The method matters less than the consistency. Some people like the debt snowball, paying off the smallest balance first for a motivational win. Some people like the avalanche, paying off the highest interest rate first to save the most money. Either works. Pick one, automate the extra payments, and stop thinking about it every day. Willpower is a limited resource. Automation isn't. Step 2, capture the free money before anything else. Here's where a lot of people get the order backwards. If your employer offers a retirement match, say they match 50% of what you put in, up to 6% of your salary, that match is free money. It is, in almost every case, a guaranteed instant return that beats any high-interest debt, except maybe the very worst credit cards. So the real move is this. Keep paying down that high-interest debt aggressively, but also contribute at least enough to your workplace retirement account to get the full match, even if that's just 3 or 4% of your paycheck. You are never going to find a better guaranteed return anywhere else. Leaving that match on the table is the single most expensive mistake in this entire video. So picture your money flowing in this order every single paycheck. Enough into the retirement account to grab the full employer match, then the rest of your extra cash toward the high-interest debt until that debt is gone. Step 3. Once high-interest debt is dead, build the real investing engine. With the expensive debt cleared and the match already flowing in, now you shift your extra money toward consistent investing. And this is where people overcomplicate things. You do not need to pick individual stocks. You do not need to time the market. You do not need 5 different brokerage accounts. What you need is a diversified, low-fee fund, something like a total market index fund or a target date fund, where your money is spread across hundreds or thousands of companies at once, and the fees are small enough that they don't quietly eat your returns over the decades. Look for funds with an expense ratio under 0.5%, ideally closer to 0.1%. That number might look small, but over 30 years, the difference between a fund charging you 0.1% and one charging you 1.5% can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Fees are one of the only variables in investing you can fully control, so control it. Step 4. Build a small emergency cushion. Alongside all of this, one quiet reason people stay stuck in the debt investing cycle for years is that they have zero cushion. One car repair, one medical bill, and they're right back on the credit card. So, even while you're paying down debt, try to get $1,000 set aside in a separate savings account as a starter cushion. Once the high-interest debt is gone, grow that cushion to 3 to 6 months of basic expenses. This isn't optional decoration. It's what keeps you from undoing all the progress you just made. Let's turn this into an actual plan you could start next payday. I'm going to use round numbers so the shape of the plan is clear. You'll plug in your real numbers. Year 1, your main focus is the high-interest debt and grabbing the full employer match. Let's say you can put $400 a month toward this combined goal. Maybe $150 of that goes into your retirement account to capture the match, and $250 goes toward extra debt payments. If you started year 1 with, say, $10,000 in high-interest debt, aggressive payments plus your normal minimums could realistically clear a big chunk, maybe most of it, by the end of the year, depending on your exact rate and starting balance. Year 2, with the high-interest debt gone or nearly gone, redirect that $250 away from debt and into your investment account. Now you might be contributing $300 or $400 a month total into retirement and index funds. This is the year the engine really starts running, because for the first time, all of your extra money is going toward growth instead of interest payments. Year 3. Aim to increase your monthly investing by even a small amount, maybe $50 to $100. Ideally, by directing half of any raise or bonus straight into your investment account before you get used to spending it. At this point, your emergency cushion should also be close to fully funded, 3 to 6 months of expenses, sitting safely in a savings account, untouched. Year 4. This is a maintenance and optimization year. Check your fund fees again. Check whether your contribution percentage has crept up with any raises. Some people set what's called an auto escalation, where your contribution percentage automatically increases by 1% each year. If your plan allows that, turn it on and stop thinking about it. Year 5. By now, 5 years in, you're not the person who started late anymore. You're someone with a cleared high-interest debt, a fully captured employer match, a real emergency cushion, and 5 years of consistent contributions into diversified low-fee funds. That's not behind. That's a real, functioning plan, running on autopilot. And through all 5 years, here's your rebalancing cadence. Check your investment accounts once a year, not once a week. Twice a year at the absolute most. Rebalancing means making sure your mix of stocks and other assets hasn't drifted too far from your target. Most target date funds actually do this for you automatically, which is part of why they're such a good starting point for someone getting back into investing. If you're using a simple total market fund instead, a once-a-year check-in is plenty. Checking daily doesn't improve your results. It just increases your stress and your chances of making an emotional decision at the wrong time. So here's the real headline of this video. Starting at 35 instead of 25 costs you something, yes. But it doesn't cost you everything. The order matters more than the starting age. Kill the high-interest debt. Grab every dollar of free match money. Put the rest into diversified low-fee funds. Build a cushion so a bad month doesn't undo a good year. And check in on it once or twice a year, not every day. 5 years from now, you won't be the person who started late. You'll be the person who started right. And that's the version of this story that actually matters. If this helped you see a clear next step, hit subscribe. We build one honest, practical money video like this every single week.